Guys, so what I'm going to be doing today is hopefully installing all of my gauges. Looks like I'd rather take off this turbo than risk any of the shavings going into it when I've drilled with the hole for the pyrometer thermocouple. So what I've already done, I've already taken off the airbox. I didn't have the airbox, mine had the had a big ass air filter on here. So I already took that off. I've got everything soaking in PB. It's been soaking for a couple hours already. So tools that I've come by that I'm going to need so far are, my downpipe isn't the factory one. Same with the bolts that are in it, because I replaced them when I did my exhaust on it. The bolts I replaced them, those are 16 millimeter bolts. I got a 15 millimeter socket for the bolts that hold the turbo onto the exhaust manifold. The bottom ones looks like I'm going to have to use a wrench, so same thing, 15 mil wrench. Screwdriver for the clamp that holds the hose on the turbo, as well as the can't think what the name of it is right now, but the boost limiter for the turbo, and then a 7/16 for the clamp that holds the turbo to the intercooler piping. I don't know if all these are factory. I'm assuming they are, so don't quote me on these bolt sizes. They might not be right. And then also crescent wrench I'm using for the oil cooler line that comes out of the oil cooler, or the turbo cooler line comes out of the oil cooler. Don't know what size it is, I don't have it right now. So I'll point out all these real quick for you. Bolts I'm talking about. I'm going to apologize right now in case of any poor lighting throughout this whole video. So we're going to take out 2 bolts that hold your turbo flange on back here. There's 4 bolts that hold the turbo to the exhaust manifold. This guy, this guy, this guy is a flathead I was telling you about, and then there's this thing underneath as well I forgot to mention before. Not too sure what this line is. There's a line that's right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It goes down. There's a 110 millimeter bolt on this side. I'm imagining there's one probably on the other side holding it down. These 2 are the 2 bottom ones. They'll stay inside the manifold, except for one of mine. The bolt was stuck to the stud, so that came out. These 2 are on the top side. They've got the nut. Here's that oil cooler line, and then here's the bottom for the return. Make sure that when you're drilling your hole for your pyrometer, you cover this as well as the intercooler tube to make sure that you don't get any chips inside of there. Besides that, everything else straightforward. That one hose I was showing you guys, you don't need to take it off. I completely forgot. It stays right on the turbo. So that's all good. So, turbo's gone, obviously. So, the instructions that I have designate that you go on the bank that comes off from the 4 to 6 cylinders. So that's what I'm doing. And then from here, not this side, but from here, measure back 1.25 inches, and then on the center line, that's where you're going to put your mark. So I've already got it punched there. So now all I'm going to have to do is drill it. My kit came with everything I need. So I already have the correct size drill bit for 1/8 inch NPT. Okay, so I got the probe installed now. Key to this, you want your probe centered in your exhaust flow. That's what's great about having turbo out. I know it's centered in there. Couple of tricks. Make sure when you're running your tap down, don't run it too far. You won't have the actual thermocouple adapter, won't have anything to grab onto. So once I drilled and tapped the hole, I took my shop vac. You guys can't see it. Sucked it out. Ran the I got a little pencil magnet. Ran that in there a couple times, make sure there's nothing in there, and then vacuumed it out again just for positive reinforcement. I also made sure I got all the chips out of the engine bay, so there's none of that anywhere else. When you're installing the actual adapter, make sure you use anti-seize on it. My install manual mentioned that, so I'm just going to mention that to you guys in case you guys are just doing it on your own, learning as you go. Really, besides that, everything else is pretty straightforward. Just remember, cover your intercooler and then your catch for your oil return line. Besides that, there's really nothing to it. And that's it.